meeting with my
Yes,
director
sir.
today at 11. I will be with you till 11 a.m. Please, I will try to finish 1 hour.
No
Okay,
problem, sir.
thank
No.
you.
So, sir, shall we schedule is at 10 o'clock, or if you permit, shall we start now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
5-10 minutes video. Okay, sir. So kindly allow us to present
Or wait for
this
another 2 3 minutes.
marketing.
People may be joining. Yeah, some people are
Okay,
joining.
ma'am.
Just another 2 3 minutes. You wait and then start the inauguration.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
This is your ACT approved.
अरे नेटवर्क कनेक्शन आ गया.
Good morning. Hello. Rahul.
नेट बंद हो गया था अभी. ठीक है.
So, may I now request Neeta ma'am to kindly mark the inaugural session.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
A very good morning to all of you.
Yeah, you please start your inauguration.
Yes,
The
sir.
national is getting ready. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. A very good morning to all.
Okay, sir.
Respected
A very good morning to all of you.
Professor,
Respected Professor N.C. Shiv
Principal Women Engineering
Prakash,
College, Ajmer.
Principal Women
Dr.
Engineering
J.K.
College,
Digwal,
Ajmer.
sir. Principal Women Engineering College, Ajmer. Dear participants and my fellow colleagues, today I, Neeta Sharma, on behalf of Women Engineering College, Ajmer, welcome you all on this 5 days online AICT Training and Learning Academy sponsored faculty development program on Internet of Things, applications in biomedical instrumentation, healthcare and pharma from 12th to 16th October 2020. It is a proud moment for all of us as this FDP is graced by our BOG Chairman, Professor Dr. N.C. Shiv Prakash, sir, from IIT Bangalore. We welcome you, sir, on behalf of GWECA family. This is a virtual felicitation for you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for your virtual flowers. It has reached Bangalore within no time. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Before starting the program, as we have many participants outside Ajmer, I would like you all to brief you about a beautiful city of Ajmer. If Rajasthan is the heart of India in tourism, Ajmer is one of the biggest heritage, an oasis wrapped in the green hills. It was founded by Raja Ajaypal Chauhan in the 7th century AD. Today, Ajmer is the most popular pilgrimage center with the famous Dargah Sharif tomb of the Sufi saint Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti and the abode of Lord Brahma lying to its west, the temple and a picturesque lake. This city is a center of culture. The British chose culture and education. The British chose Ajmer for its prestigious Mayo College, a school exclusively for Indian nobility. This was all about Ajmer. Apart determination and hard work, the most necessary thing required is God's blessing. Therefore, here comes a digital lamp lighting felicitation ceremony.
Very good. Very professionally you are doing. Yeah, well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very thoughtful.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now I request Principal Dr. J.K. Digwal, sir, to kindly give a glimpse of our renowned institute.
Yeah, thank you, Meeta. First of all, I welcome Professor N.C. Shiv Prakash, sir, our BOG chairman, organizers of the event, Sri S.S. Agrawal ji, fellow faculty members, the faculty members who are joining this event, this faculty development program from the other engineering college also, I welcome on behalf of Mahila Engineering College, Ajmer. Mahila Engineering College, Ajmer is the first engineering college for women in the northern India in the government setup. Presently, this college status is an autonomous institute of Government of Rajasthan, and this college opens in the year 2007. The college provides state-of-art infrastructure within its lush green campus spread in 30 acres of land. At present, around 1,000 students are studying in various bachelor's and the master programs. Since the inception, the college has developed manifolds and it provides its potential every hour. The success is credited to the energetic, dedicated, and experienced faculty and staff members. The college has successfully completed the second phase of Technical Education Quality Improvement Program, TechCube Second, and now running its third phase, TechCube Third. Under the AICT Collaborative Research Scheme, NPI MHRD, the college has awarded with 11 research projects costing around 1.25 crore. Recently, in the past 6 months, the college has opened research centers has also been established in the Electronics and Communication Engineering Department and the Electrical Engineering Department for pursuing doctoral research under the Bikaner Technical University, Bikaner. And one achievement we have achieved that we have opened the Center of Excellence in the RF antenna and microwave, and recently our Chief Minister Shri Ashok Gehlot ji has inaugurated that research center. So thank you, enjoy this workshop and learn new things. Thank you.
Agarwal. Dr. Agarwal.
Agarwal ji.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for briefing us about the college. Now I request the coordinator of the program, Mr. Shyam Sundar Agarwal, sir, to kindly give a brief introduction about the 5 days faculty development program.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Agarwal, just your good. Yeah, please go ahead.
Motivator and inspiring orator, our guide and leader as chairman of DOG, and
You please read. Don't worry about display. Yeah, go ahead, Agarwal ji.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us and accepting our invitation for this occasion. I welcome Dr. J.K. Digwal, Principal of Women Engineering College, Ajmer, and Head of this event. His constant support and guidance is incomparable and deserves cordial gratitude. Welcome. I also welcome all the participants who have shown the idea of discussing IoT in context of its applications in biomedical instrumentation and healthcare sector. Last but not the least, I welcome my fellow faculty members and the dear students who are present over here, especially to listen to the eminent speaker, Professor N.C. Prakash from IISc Bangalore. We are this only
Agarwal ji, your voice is not coming properly, breaking.
The voice is breaking, Dr. Agarwal.
so voice is not properly coming.
आराम से coolly, कोई टेंशन नहीं,
Take your time. Don't worry.
कोई टेंशन नहीं.
Am I audible now?
Please unmute.
Unmute your mic.
Kindly unmute your mic, Agarwal ji.
Okay, sir. So,
Go ahead. Quick.
So, introducing this program, I was telling that this is an Atal Academy sponsored program, which is AICT wing of training and learning. And there will be a total of 14 sessions of 90 minutes each from December 12 to 16, 2020. So schedule of which I have already shared with all the participants. And I also want to bring in notice of all the participants that the as per rules, 80% attendance is mandatory for this workshop and 60% marks are required when exam will be conducted on the last day of this FDP. The title of FDP is Internet of Things, in context of biomedical instrumentation, healthcare and pharma was, so I want to introduce a little bit about the workshop. So there are many physical devices that are now connected to the internet. These devices are referred as things in the word of IoT. These devices can collect, process and share data. It is possible to turn anything from something as small as pill to something as big as aeroplane into a part of IoT. Any physical object can be transferred into an IoT device if it can be connected to the internet and control and communicate information. I have few examples that will immediately connect you to the devices that are referred as things in the term Internet of Things. Say, a light bulb that can be switched on using a smartphone app is an IoT device. Similarly, a motion sensor in your office connected to the corridor lights is also an IoT device. So the term thing in IoT is these devices. An IoT device could be as fluffy as a child's toy or as serious as a driverless truck. A smartwatch or a fitness band or other wearable devices may also be things in the world of IoT. So IoT is the networking of such physical objects. The objects contains embedded electronic circuits and sensors within their architecture that enables them to communicate and interact amongst all other or with external environment. So IoT is used in almost every field, and it is huge potential to offer advanced level of service and bring revolutionary changes in the field of biomedical instrumentation. IoT can altogether alter the operations in the area of medical science and healthcare directly associated with the society. So in this FDP, participants will have a wider perspective to the Internet of Things, including its components, characteristics, application domains, etc., specifically in the context of biomedical instrumentation. The theme of FDP is interdisciplinary, ranging from chemistry, mechanical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, and of course, computer engineering. And the central idea of FDP is to make all the participants aware about role of IoT in healthcare and medical sector. The session-wise topics I have already shared with all the participants. I hope that during this FDP, we will together explore and know that what is IoT and how IoT is bringing revolutionary changes to the core operations of healthcare, pharma, and biomedical instrumentation sector. We will experience that how the IoT technology is closely related to our society and our own life. So this was a small introduction. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma'am Mita, for inviting me to introduce the workshop.
Thank you, sir, for briefing us. As I earlier said, we are honored to have our BOG chairman, Professor N.C. Shivaprakash, sir, as a keynote speaker for the day. Professor N.C. Shivaprakash, sir, was born in 1955. He completed the MSc and PhD degrees from Mysore University, India in 1978 and 1982 respectively. In 1983, he has been with IISc Bangalore, where he is currently the Chief Research Scientist with the Department of Instrumentation and Applied Physics. His research interests include embedded systems, intelligent instrumentations, structure and physical properties of liquid crystals, and high-pressure DTA. He's a fellow of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication. He completed 8 R&D projects of CSIR, UGC, DRDO, and industry. He is also serving as an expert in many Government of India and state government committees like JRM, and Chairman Visiting Team NBA, Approval Committee, AICTE, and mentor for Northeast QIP Institute, Review Committee, UGC, etc. He is involved in conducting the IISc entrance exams, GATE, AVPY, and JET examinations for the past 36 years. He is also a member of Board of Selection and Board of Studies for many NITs and universities. He is a recipient of many awards like Young Scientist Award by Karnataka Association, Professor N.A. Nikam Science Gold Medalist, Professor S.D. Bandare Gold Medalist, Dr. S. Pancharatnam Gold Medal, Sri Poona Krishna Rao Gold Medal, Sri Sid Lagata Rama Rao Gold Medal. Sir has many research and development and consultancy projects he's working on it. Fabrication of prototype electrochromic smart pixel displays, design and characterization of electrochromic rear view mirrors using conducting polymers, fabrication and characterization of organic light emitting diodes using polymeric anodes, design and development of a high pressure differential thermal analyzer for phase. Now I request our Honorable Professor N.C. Shivprakash sir to kindly enlighten us with his knowledgeable session. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes. Can you see my presentation, all of you?
No, sir. Presentation. No.
Not see it. Please. Dr. Jitendra, Dr. Agarwal, Dr. Neetu.
Yes, sir. Now it's okay, sir.
Okay. So very, very good morning and a beautiful Monday. You heard the esteemed principal talking about one of the rarest institution in the northern part, Mahila College. And I'm also very happy to note that recently the Chief Minister has also inaugurated the Center of Excellence in RF and microwave. And I'm sure that in many years to come, this institution will have greater potential to make one of the best institutions in the northern part of India. So, Professor Jitendra, Dr. Agarwal, Dr. Neetu, and all my dear colleagues, first of all, I want to congratulate all of you for having, got this ATAL, is a wonderful platform, ATAL, ACT, teaching learning. I remember about 40 years ago, going all the way from Bangalore to Delhi, 2 days in the train, going for a winter school, and then with the cold in Delhi, attending 3 weeks course like what you are today. So today, things have changed. You are there wherever you are, and you can still attend and learn. I think you are all blessed, and I'm very happy, and I want to congratulate Mahila College, Ajmer, for this distinction. And it is very appropriate that they have chosen. Some of you are not muted. I request all the participants to mute and kindly mute so that everybody can be receptive. So the Internet of Things is a wonderful concept, and Dr. Agarwal was saying what things are. I want to ask myself, what is not Internet of Things today? Everything that you can think of is Internet of Things. So very, very appropriate. So therefore, the topic, if you look at the wonderful program that they have done in the next 5 days, it talks about the IoTs, particularly about biomedical and biomedical instrumentation and the application of IoT in biomedical, pharma, and health sector, which is extremely very important component. Not that you don't have IoT application in other areas, but today I think this workshop is focusing on this, and some IoT examples will be dealt during this workshop. And IoMT also called these days, which is nothing but Internet of Medical Things. IoT is a very broader one, and in medical they call IoMT, and also medical imaging is a very important, as you know, MRI, CT, and so on have been helping our medical fraternity in diagnosing, in surgery, and so on. And patient monitoring and clinic. Today the patients at the aged people and disabled people need not go and get admitted. They may not have even people to help them. So that the IoT certainly is a big boon for senior citizen people and also people who are otherwise ably disabled. IoT today in medicine, lot of startups have come. I'm sure that the COVID definitely, all of last 6 months, six and a half months, we are in this COVID. I feel, it creates opportunity for victory in disaster. So this is one example of Mahila College where they have nothing has stopped them in conducting organizing these workshops. So they have done under TechUp 2, TechUp 3, as Principal Saab said, the lot of things have happened, and they are any recognition from AICTE in terms of getting the fund to organize this is a wonderful thing. So therefore they have created an opportunity even in the pandemic, and then sharing this Internet of Things in these important area today, and also going to be in the next 4 or 5 days. And therefore now what we used to call before Christ and after Christ, I would all call it as now people in next 100 years they will remember before Corona, after Corona, because this Corona is a phenomena once in 100 years. All of you, in my lifetime I have not seen, the one which pandemic was in 1918, this influenza, the Spanish flu, what we have, the flu and all that was there about 100 years ago. So this phenomena will be once in 100 years. Hope that our medical science would get some vaccine. Of course, it takes time, but hopefully the vaccine is the only way, but we get out of this. So, why I'm showing this again, many of, some new people are there. Education is extremely important. Education is the progress of the country. So therefore, today what we talk Internet, what we talk IoT, what all the technology that we talk today is because of the education which has evolved. The way back in 30, 40 years ago, education was merely learning something. Some lecturing was done and memorization and writing. That was the education long ago. But later, all of you know, in 1990, Internet came into being. That has revolutionized, and we got into the education 2.0, which is, we call it as Internet enabled learning. Later, all of us quickly understood that the education should lead to knowledge, because India is a knowledge hub. Even if you remember the olden times, the Nalanda University and all that, even foreign students those days, they were coming to India for study. The fashion now last 30, 40 years is Indian students are going to foreign countries. But I'm sure that in the new education policy, now we are going to get some 100 top universities in the world where they will come to India, they will teach our curriculum, they will, our structure, those are the things, things are happening because of the India is a knowledge hub. And today, education, we all know that education is just not knowledge. Knowledge will not take us anywhere. Today, we require knowledge, skill, attitude. Then only the education is very purposeful, especially higher education and technical education. So therefore, today's education 4.0 is all about innovation producing. So therefore, the next 5 days, what you are going to learn about this Internet of Things will make you understand all the things in the cyber physical world much more clearly. So in the same way, another 1 minute I will spend before getting into the topic of today. The industry also has grown like education from industry 1.0 to industry 4.0. So this one, as all of you know, in 18th century, we started introducing we started producing some product which are either powered by only water or steam, very, very slow. Later, in the 20th century, during First and Second World War, we started seeing the Industrial Revolution 2.0, where mass production started. We started seeing the railway engine and the track and so on. And later, in the Industry 3.0, in 1970 onwards, as all of you know, the electronics and information technology revolution took place, and this electronics and IT has made the autonomous production. But today, as all of you know, in Industry 4.0, the expectation is all the things that we see is the cyber physical system. Every physical system, as Dr. Agarwal said, can be connected through net. This is what we call it as Internet of Things. So therefore, it is more appropriate that let us try and understand. I am not going to any specific topic of your thing today. I will give a global overall picture so that in the next 4 days you will be learning. So as of course, education should also give knowledge, know-how, wisdom, and character. Knowledge is all what you get while teaching and all that. Know-how, a workshop like this that you attend will get a broad perspective so that you would know what is the right thing to do. And also these workshops will help you to set the priority in the work. Which work should I do? What work I take up? What research can I do? And finally, this exposure will enhance your character to make the respectable member of the society. This is what both teacher and student would become. So therefore, in the Internet of Things today, as I already told you, in the Industry 4.0, many things are expected from the education. Of course, in 2020, we all in technical education, we all expect to produce engineers who are who are problem solvers, who can think critically, and then you have creativity, etc., etc. Finally, cognitive flexibility. What it means is today engineers, when they join some company, they won't stay back. They won't be there for 20-30 years in the same organization. So they keep moving. This is what we call it as cognitive flexibility. We have to make them lifelong learner so that they would. So therefore, last half a minute about this, about Future India, as all of you know, is a great. We have moved in from Made in India to Make in India. All that the government of India is doing is not making a product and then put a seal and then sell it. Today we want the foreign investment to come to India. We create job for ourselves. We only money is invested by them. Profit is ours. Part of the profit we can give them. So this is what is all about Make in India, which of all of you know, it requires Digital India. Today all citizens are empowered. And today I am in Bangalore. Some of you are in Ajmer. Some of you are wherever you are. You have been able to get connected. It is because of this great connectivity. So today, let me spend a minute or two to tell you what about biomedical instrumentation or instrumentation in general. All of you know, instrumentation is a very interdisciplinary subject. So you cannot name one area where instrumentation is not there. So therefore, instrumentation plays a major role in all walks of engineering and other fields as well. So what is then instrumentation? What is instrument? All of us know some instrument. Even a medical doctor which use a thermometer is called an instrument, which measures the temperature. So therefore, all that we do in instrumentation is three important things. Number one, instrumentation is all about measure. All that you do in instrumentation is measure something. It is not enough if you measure, you have to display. The example that I gave, a medical thermometer, all that it does is it measures your temperature of the body. Okay, so then it displays. But if you go beyond some instruments of higher thing or sophisticated, you not only measure, not only you do your display, you also control. So control, control is extremely important. If you go to a chemical industry where so many parameters are controlled, so therefore I won't get into that part. What I am trying to say is instrumentation is evolved last 20-30 years, not like other subjects of civil, mechanical, electrical, where instrumentation plays a major role, where I would say it is an interdisciplinary area. So therefore, the past instrumentation is all about small gadgets, and today we have developed instruments very highly sophisticated. For instance, in medical science, the instruments that they have developed today is MRI. All of you are very familiar with magnetic resonance imaging. If you have money with you, all body can be imaged. That is the area in which we are working in medical science. This is all because of the instrumentation. So instrumentation plays a major role, and therefore this internet that has come, IoT, plays a. So biomedical instrumentation, again, in the instrumentation, all that we do is we have some transducers and sensor. All of you know them, therefore I won't get into the detail. If you want to measure some moisture, there will be a thing. If you want to measure temperature, pressure, any parameter, stress, strain, and force, all that you do in instrumentation is about the measuring something. Therefore, you need a sensor. So sensors that we talk about measuring this parameter, flow or pressure or so many things, but in medical, the kind of sensors that you use are entirely different. For instance, you know today in the medical science, you have ECG, EMG, and the CT scan, and so on. They are all, therefore, if you want a blood pressure to be measured, there are digital blood pressure measurements, things about diabetic, if you want to measure the sugar level, there are gadgets. So therefore, the sensors that one develops for biomedical applications are extremely sensitive and very. So therefore, when we talk about this instrumentation, sensitivity, repeatability, accuracy, precision, they're all very important. So any instrument that we develop, we need this, and more so when you have medical, because which is much more sensitive than other parameters. So biomedical instrumentation and engineering is all about solving the problem related to living biological system. For instance, in the human body, now today there are so many technologies are there where you can use. Even today, artificial intelligence is being used in medical science to not only for diagnosing but also for surgery. The high surgery, laser surgery that you have today. Earlier, people used to be there in the hospital for a week or so, and today they all go away within no time. After half an hour after surgery, let us say the people who have after 40, 50, 60, when they have these things, very simple surgeries have come with laser, they can do. So therefore, diagnosis, treatment, and more importantly, prevention of diseases is important. Prevention is better than cure, is always we say in our life. Even today, corona, it is better to avoid the corona rather than getting into corona and get the good medicine. Why do you want to go and then get into your? So I will not get into again the very minute detail which will be talked about during the workshop. As all of you know, a data acquisition system is important. All that we do in the data acquisition system is the signals that we get. The signals have to be converted. So this is what primary importance of any instrumentation is signal conditioning. You have to bring it to the digital level. Anything that meaningfully that we do, you have to use, as you can see from here, the instrument that you develop, you have some sensors and transducers, then you have to amplify because the signals that you get are very, very small. So therefore today, the CT scan or MRI scan, they use what is known as Fourier transform. So the signals will be enhanced so that the meaningful signals can be measured, and then, so therefore any typical system will have the preamplifier, signal processing. Signal processing is an area by itself, as all of you know. There are very 32-bit, 62-bit processors, specialized embedded microcontrollers are there, wherein you can use them for special signal processing. So therefore, a system in which, let's say human, you want to alarm or display or data storage, transmission data, today we talk about telemedicine. An Indian patient need not go to America for surgery, and vice versa. The American doctor need not come to India for doing surgery. Now today in the telemedicine, because of the huge data transfer which is possible, I can send an MRI, get an opinion. As a surgeon here in India, I guided by a surgeon in USA can be done. This is all what we call it as telemedicine. Now let me spend a minute about what is IoT. As Dr. Agarwal already said, internet came into 1990. You don't believe me, you don't believe that when we are doing first internet email, we were waiting half an hour even to get connected through our telephone, modem. That was the kind of a thing in 1989-90. Things have changed today. We talk about technology 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, where you can transfer huge amount of data. Has already been told by Dr. Agarwal, IoT, the T is nothing but things. The Internet of Things, networks of physical objects. That physical object is what we call it as things that are embedded with either sensors or software or other technology, whatever you think, for the purpose of connecting and exchanging the data with other devices and over the internet. So this is the whole philosophy of IoT. So therefore, there are multiple technologies available today. So during the workshop, I'm sure that you would learn all that. And most importantly, things should be done in the real time. There are certain things that you cannot, there are certain events where you can do offline, but there are, especially in the medical field, things have to be done in real time. Otherwise, patient who get admitted on the cardiac, if you don't take decision within 5 minutes and then operate him, then you cannot think and then tomorrow I will do it and I don't have time. So real time is extremely important in this IoT, and also analytics. A lot of data are there today in the databases where that will help the doctor to diagnose and then take an appropriate decision to do surgery and so on. So analytics plays a major role. And today, all of you know, the machine learning and deep learning are the two important tools that have come, which helps a lot in the medical science. And since commodity sensors are available in the Internet of Things, embedded system, WSN is an extremely important thing. Wireless sensor network, where you have place where there is no access. For instance, military. I just gave an example where you cannot even go and reach the place. The disaster management, floods, and then the things like what should I call it as there where you have not an easy access, you can use WSN. So control system is extremely important component of the IoT. And today we all talk about automation at smart home. I can be at, the example is, as already been told, I can be in the office. I must have forgotten to switch off my refrigerator or my, let's say, TV, or I can do it remotely. That is all possible because of this. Even these are all because of this. The second important thing, having understood what IoT is, what is cyber physical system? That is important, because finally you are getting the cyber physical systems are being connected with the Internet of Things, with the other through Internet you are getting connected. So therefore, what a cyber physical system means is it's simply a computer system in which a mechanism is controlled or monitored by computer-based algorithm. So you write a lot of algorithms in the middle layer to perform these. So in the cyber physical system, physical and software component are deeply intertwined. So this is what is about. So these two are a very important concept. So just to take an example, today COVID, all of you know, we talk about every alternate house in at least in the rich people's house, they have pulse oximeter. So it is non-invasive. You cannot invasive and non-invasive. Without damaging your tissues, without damaging your skin, if you can do any test, which we call it as non-invasive. So if you see in this picture, very simple pulse oximeter, because pulse is a very important thing. And as all of you know, this what we call it as an oxygen saturation. So everybody can buy at home today because of this IoT, and then you yourself can measure whether this number, as all of you know, this number should not go below 94, 95. The normal, I am told, is around 95 to 100, so that you can quickly. So the days have gone by where patient used to go to hospital and get admitted for COVID in the month of March. And today, I think now, thanks to all these the non-invasive pulse oximetry and so on, we don't have to go and get admitted. You can monitor, you can get the telephone. Today the medical is where you don't have to go to hospital. You get advice, you take medicine at home, you get isolated, and then do. So therefore, arterially, a patient himself can monitor. This is the beauty of the Internet of Things that we see today. The other thing that all of you remember, just about a week ago I was reading this. Now, as you can see in this picture, it is the engineer's print wearable. Dr. Agarwal said about a lot of wearable things, which I will tell you in a minute or so. So today, I'm tempted to show you this. This I have seen about 4 days ago. An engineer's print wearable sensor directly into the skin without heat. If you want to make any of these things, you have to heat to the 500 degrees centigrade. You know that I cannot do that on the skin of a human being. Even I cannot, if you go to other technology where if you want to heat up to 50, 60, which we cannot afford. So therefore, the two labs, one is Penn State University in USA, Ling Zhang, and Chung Lab, and also Urban Institute of Technology, they have come up with something where a sintering, they call it, sintering aid layer to enable direct printing on the body. You know, the tattoos you must have seen, a lot of cricketers they put. So that kind of a technology, they call it as a sintering where it can be centered at the normal temperature, that is 25 degrees, so your skin can take. So this is a fantastic development that has been taken place very, very recently. I thought I wanted to share with you. So therefore, the just whatever I said, the room temperature sintering aid this layer. So the polyvinyl alcohol paste they have taken, and the main ingredient is peelable mask. So just after putting this electromechanical capability, what they have done is they've used just simple air blower or even air dryer. At every house you have an air dryer, so that they've used and do it. So very they have used with water. It can be removed whenever you think that it can. So it's a removable, fantastic thing that they have done. So this is where we are today. So therefore, Internet of Things, it could be recycled. What you see just now, I said things, it is not use and throw, which is a very expensive one, which we cannot afford. So therefore, the fantastic thing about this is it can be reused, and especially the researcher planned alternate technology. It is still under the research thing, and then COVID-19 symptom can be monitored through technologies like this. So the second important thing of first one is about biomedical instrumentation. I can go on and give hundreds of examples. The second one is pharma. As all of you know, pharma is a fantastic thing in India. I recollected about 25 years ago, I attended one World Health Organization meeting. There, the the person said there are 36 medicines which are sufficient to cure any disease, be it a cancer, be it anything. So therefore, but in India, there are 60 lakhs formulas are available. So the quality check that you want to do in a pharmaceutical company in India takes about 2 years for quality check. So this 2 years, what happens is the medicine is approved, you sell it, a lot of people consume it, and after that in the newspaper you read this Baral gun tablet is banned. By then you would have made the money. So that is the kind of a queue that we have in the Indian. That is because of the huge number of formulas. For just crossing, you have hundreds of varieties of things. So therefore, the price control is another factor in the pharma, and lot of export. Today, all of you know, the President of India got the medicine from here. And India is a great country. If anybody wants any vaccine to be made, India is going to be the manufacturer. India will manufacture. India will send it to all of them. So India is ready. Such an industrial thing that they have done. So the lot of export can be done through even COVID medicine. You must have seen that it has been shared with many other. So the future healthcare, is today you must have seen that you have watches where you can wear and find out your health condition. So just for fun, and also today we talk about what we call it as if there are so many examples that I can give. One is personal digital appliance. So my body, there is a College of Engineering Pune I was mentoring. What they have done is they have a medical diary which is there in the cloud. Every alumni has contributed money so that the student of College of Engineering, anywhere after the graduation you go in anywhere in the world, his medical diary can be accessed by any doctor anywhere in the world. So suppose a fellow from Ajmer graduate and goes to USA, so they, his health conditions, his health diary can be accessed by a doctor while treating. So that kind of a personal digital appliances have come today thanks to the IoT. So coming back, what Dr. Agarwal is saying, wearable technology is playing a major role. Of course, some people use this for a fashion technology. Smart wears are available. Skin electronic, fashion electronic. All that they do is they have detection, analyze, and transmit the information. Today you have a watch in which if you are while walking, it will tell you by converting that into a distance how much kilometer that you have walked in the last 1 hour, last 24 hours. So these are all possible because of the IoT. So IoT has really made a big thing. So this wearable is a very wonderful thing happening across. So as all of you know, wearable can be as already I told you, it collects the data on users' health basically. So what are the things that it can do? A few examples that I can give is the number one, heart rate, which is very important. So therefore, you can have wearable thing. You don't have to go to the hospital every time that when you want to know, morning, evening, or whatever the time that you think that you have some discomfort in your body. You have a wearable which will allow you to find out yourself at the rates, and then yes, please.
Excuse me, sir. Sir,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you, but your screen has gone, sir. Now your video only is visible.
Okay, I'll just stop share and then I will do it again. It may help.
Okay, sir.
Okay. My voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And I will tell you that 97 people have joined, and we need only 3 more. During my lecture, 3 more will join, and then we'll score a century, first century of T20, first century
Yes,
of Dr. Agarwal's, Dr. Neetu, Dr. Jitendra, and thing. Can you see now?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. You can. Yes, sir.
Good.
Now your screen is visible.
Observe. Thank you very much. So this always continuously, you should not keep on talking. This was a in the T20 match, there is a strategy time between the over 6 to 9, 2.5 minutes, over 13 to 16, another 2.5 minutes. So like that, what we had 30 seconds, thanks to the IoT, we had a break. The commercial break we had. Anyway, let us continue after the commercial break. Of course, it is not a commercial break that we do. The ACT program that we are on. So heart rate I can measure, report it to my doctor, and get advice. Calories burned. Today obesity is a big problem across the world. Because of the junk food that all our people, I won't use the word kids, more so even elderly people, especially in the city, they don't know what to eat in the morning. They will order pizza, it will come. And then the pizza is already brought in Bangalore so many COVID also. So therefore, you have to be careful though. But anyway, there are calorie burn. How much you have burned. If you burn, it's good thing. Steps walked can be measured. Blood pressure, release of certain biochemicals, time spent for exercising, seizures. Is a very important thing today. People, we call it in medical term epilepsy. A surge of electrical activity happens in the brain and they collapse. So these things are all can be thanks to IoT, we'll be able to do. Physical strain is possible. So I just listed only few, but in principle, many things can be done. Another area in the medical science is all of implantation, like be it a leg amputation or so they call it as cochlear implant, CI, famously known as CI in the surgical method. So what they do is hearing loss. If you lose, then they modify. What they modify, a person with a cochlear implant. Yeah, someone is talking. Kindly mute it, please. So therefore, the signals of sound and speech are very important. My dear colleagues,
Sir, please mute.
Somebody has, kindly mute it. Otherwise, it will disturb all my colleagues. All of you kindly mute. No, someone is switched on and then keep on talking.
Yes, sir. I have muted him.
Okay. Yeah, good. Thank you very much. So today, because of the disabled people, no sign language input, by action also you can do. So therefore, these things kind of the implantation are also coming. And as all of you know, hearing aids have been coming. Very expensive though, international one, but there are low-cost hearing aids are also being converted. These are all big. So the other area which the workshop is going to organize is IMT. I told you IoT is subset of IoT is IOMT, Internet of Medical Thing. Today that also is, today they refer to as smart healthcare. Why the name smart? Quickly you realize a remote patient monitoring is possible. All patients who needs attention, as I told you in the beginning, need not go to the hospital and get admitted. unless they need ICU or ventilator, they can be at home, they can be taken. So this technology enables monitoring the patients outside and conventional clinic setting, such as even at remote areas where isolation ward. Suppose there are diseases where you cannot, a doctor and others cannot get into their ward, which we call it as an isolation. These isolation wards also can be accessed through remote patient monitoring. So this not only decreases the healthcare delivery cost, but I don't know whether today the cost is being reduced, but I'm sure once it comes to the market, it will reduce. Like TVs, when we bought earlier, it was very expensive. Even if you take a mobile in the first model, if you buy, it costs 25,000, but by the time they come to the market, it goes down. So therefore, anything that comes to market, always. So the next one is medical imaging using IoT. Is extremely important. As already mentioned, MRI. MRI is basically magnetic resonance. All of you know little physics where every nucleus has got proton, neutron, and then it has got an angular momentum. The spin is nothing but angular momentum. So this will be spinning about their own axis. This has been exploited. What they call in science as NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance. If you take anything which is spinning, and what you do is by external magnetic field, if you equal force if you give, then a resonance takes place. This resonance can be utilized for various things in science to find out even the structure. So, but in medical, this magnetic resonance is being used fantastically for imaging, whether let it be brain image or any part of the body. I told you, as long as if you have money, you can. But please don't go for MRI just because you have money, because you will be subjected to radio frequency, which is not good. Though for very very short period, but so therefore MRI is of course is CT also is required in some cases. Telemedicine, as I already told you, is playing a very, very, very big role. And artificial intelligence is a technology which has come up last 3-4 years and going to go in next 10 years to 20 years. AI, just to give 2 examples, AI today in medical field is being used for diagnosis. Not only for diagnosis, helps the doctor to diagnose. The second one is treatment, surgery. Surgeries are being done through artificial intelligence enabled. So they think that it is much more accurate and so on. Of course, there are surgeons who are very, very. So surgeons also will take the aid of the artificial intelligence. The next part of our, of course, in your Internet of Things, in this workshop, you will be covering patient monitoring and clinical efficiency. So as I already told you that clinical pathology is very, very important. In medical science, clinical pathology means the patient need not go to the diagnostic center, a medical laboratory or a clinical laboratory where this is done, the tests are done to aid the diagnosis. So therefore, this lot of science, lot of applied science is being done in both conjunction with academic institution and this. Today, the example that I can give you for this is COVID. COVID, hundreds of vaccines are being tried out across. You know how much care that one should take while making the vaccine. People in a lighter way, they say this COVID has come, Corona has come from while doing some experiment in China. So therefore, you cannot be conducting these experiments wherever you want. You need a clean room. Clean room is not just dust free. Clean room where you have to take a shower and get in. Shower means the other, not a water shower. So therefore, clean room, they will measure in terms of various parameters. So that kind of a technology that the next thing that in Internet of Things happening is voice user interface. Make spoken human interaction. Voice command. Suppose someone is disabled, you will not be able to speak. You must have seen in the TV, people, there are news channel where the news are being there, where people can hear, people can, talk, but they are deaf and dumb. How do you do it? By sign language. So spoken command is being used. Action, the reaction, these are all being used as a voice user interface. And today, the technology of IoT has bring what we call as e-health, e-commerce, e-transaction, anything you call is E. E is become synonymous with our life. So in the E health, the internet medicine also they call it, everything is related, is all with computers. So now medical doctors, in the medicine also, whether MBBS or MS, they have been exposed to lot of these computer gadgets. So therefore today, why I'm saying is, I'm sure that faculties across the country, they must be attending today. I cannot say I'm a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer, I'm a chemical engineer, I don't know anything about computer. In the lighter way, I tell, in Bangalore, one of the mimicry says, every one of us, irrespective of age, whether I'm 5-year-old, whether I'm 50-year-old, whether I'm 80-year-old, I must know two things in life. One is hardware, another is software. If I don't know hardware, if I don't know software, I am nowhere. You are in Trishanko, neither in the ground nor in the Swarga. So you will be roaming around, in the middle of the our strata. So therefore, we need to know. No excuses for a man. And also this thing is also now lead to mobile health. Now things are, because of the mobile, everything is connected. So the people can get their report directly. Today you don't have to go out to collect your report. Report can be just downloaded. And another important IoT plays a major role is the elderly home. Especially elderly home, no people will be there at home. They have to be made very safe and comfortable. So therefore, and also, the home are becoming smart home because the energy conservation. I've seen one home where automatically when the light goes down in the evening, the lights will come on. Sunlight, after certain flux, it goes down, it comes. So therefore, this elderly home, not only elderly people, disabled people, but smart home, all these IoT are being used. And another example I will give you, and I'm rushing because I had some very important thing with my director of IAC today at 11. So therefore, the one which I am supposed to give till 11:15, 11:20 and 10-minute discussion, I'm squeezing in. So therefore, please bear with me for this. I'm sure that all these things will be discussed in greater detail. This example I took because of the following reason. Today, we talk about smart grid. Smart, why smart? Because it can do many things, which I will not get into the detail. If you see on the left-hand side, what you see on the left-hand side is a traditional one. And what you see on the green on the right-hand side is the smart grid. If you see the first level, ground level, earlier everything was fixed. But now today, because of the Internet of Things, you have a energy meter, you have a smart meter, you can control where the fault is, you can find out how much power, peak power, all these things are possible. Earlier, you can see the second layer in the blue, it was only one direction. Now in the smart, in the grid, you can both bidirectional. The current goes from the generation to the user, and user also can feedback. If you go to the third level, earlier we used to have only one installation. Now we have multiple installation. Earlier we had only one networking. Now you have multiple networking. Earlier we had only one generation huge generation station. Now we have small generation station. Now solar energy. Now you have, let us say, energy from solar to wind energy. Whatever the thing, we call it as a grid. You can put all the power into one grid. So these are all things which are happening because of the internet. Today, the distribution of the whole power in the country, being it a central government or a Rajasthan government or a Karnataka government or any other government, now can be, you can share, buy the power, and all these things are possible. And this is, I will skip this because of one. So lastly, I want to spend some couple of minutes about startups. The medical startups is a huge potential. Startup, as all of you know, if you have some idea, this idea you can convert them into a project. A project will finally give you a product. This product finally will have a patent. That we call it as intellectual property rights. So therefore, at least at the end of this next 5 days, each one of you are working in this domain, whether it is the health sector, whether it is medical instrumentation, or any other. For instance, I gave some examples of smart home, this smart grid, anything, electrical engineers. So across the, there won't be any boundary in future. After 5 years, you don't have civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, physics, chemistry. All of them will become, let us say, nanoscience, where neuroscience, where medical all will come on neuroscience, nanoscience will come all these things, and earth science will come civil and geology and so on. So across the boundary, we have to work. So therefore, my suggestions to all of you, not just for, I am told it's an ACT workshop where some faculties are also attending from various other institutions other than the Mahila Government College, Engineering College, Ajmer. So therefore, I want every one of you with your student, please start ideation center. So this ideation center, even you take COVID, health sector, energy sector, agriculture sector, infrastructure sector, anything, this, of course, though this workshop is on the health sector, particularly in the health sector, there is a huge potential because of the COVID. You need to, find not just vaccine, not that every one of us can participate in making vaccine, but where we can make certain things on sanitizer, we can make things on various other factors where how to avoid these by some gadgets, or by, whether I want to know sitting at home, whether I have any symptom of the COVID. So in this direction, there is a huge potential for next 5 years, not just for COVID, in the health sector. So therefore, every one of you in your own college, make some small group of students with faculty, work on some area for 1 or 2 years, where these ideas will be converted into some project. This project finally will become another 3 minutes, or Daniel. Okay. So therefore, what it means is incubation you start. This incubation will have startup. Startup is nothing but successful technology, agility, re-engineering, team, uniqueness, persistent society. The startup itself has got all this character. So therefore, I want some of you in some small scale, at the end of this 5 days workshop, I expect at next 1 or 2 years, come out with some idea, so that some venture capital, governments are there, NGOs are there, a lot of people are there around. They will all bring, you can come together and then work together and do this. So therefore, I am very, very happy, as I told you that I had rushed this, which otherwise I would have taken another 20-25 minutes, and pardon with me. And then I'm sure that Dr. Agarwal, Dr. Neetu, Dr. Jitendra, and all the group at Mahila College will make you comfortable for the next 4 or 5 days. And I once again thank the college. Before that, all of us can work together, all of us can collaborate together, all of them give our ideas, because none of us are individually as smart as all of us. So once again, I congratulate the college management, college, the people who have, made this workshop. I'm very happy to give this, keynote address as a beginning. Hope that you got some broad perspective. I'm sure that the 9 lectures that you are going to hear, 9 or 10 or 12, definitely make this, I wish this event a great success. And thank you very much for joining, and wish you all to have a great Monday and another 4 days to go ahead and enjoy your learning. And thank you very much. Over to Dr. Agarwal.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for such an informative session. And from the chat box, I'm reading one participant, Professor Ketki Joshi, is writing that within this short duration of time, this informative session is very wonderful, and I have got a good idea of all of other sessions also from yours addressal. So I thank you from bottom of my heart for joining this and guiding and motivating us. I also invite any of the participants if want to say something.
Now, what you can tell Dr. Agarwal is, share my email. If any one of them wants, please ask them to write to. Huh?
Okay, sir. Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with the permission, I will leave because I have a very urgent meeting at 11 o'clock. I wish Dr. Jitendra, please permit me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I enjoyed last 1 hour with all of you, 1 hour, 10 minutes. and thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for joining.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I'll get
Thank
back.
you, sir.
Huh? So I am there in the other one. I just have to join them with your permission. If you give permission,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
join.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Take care.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. So,
Hello.
I